Becoming Sister Eyes, Chapter 14, Part 2. To TLC's credit, when we told them it was making our day-to-day lives more difficult, the network changed the clip immediately. We felt so honored that our requests were taken seriously. When our church community saw the preview, they understandably became upset. Many hadn't been thrilled with our decision to do the program in the first place. Now they were worried we were going to be sensational and improper. Once they discovered that we intended to film Robin's wedding reception, some members became even more concerned. The wedding ceremony, either a fundamentalist faith or in the LDS Church, is sacred and private. No one outside the faith is allowed to witness the ceremony. It's never discussed. The promo for our program aired shortly after the HBO series Big Love had filmed a sensational version of the temple ceremony. So when our church community got wind of the fact that cameras were going to be at Robin's reception, they were alarmed. Eventually, we managed to convince our fellow church members that we had absolutely no intention of centralizing either our lives or Robin's wedding. Our plans were to only film the reception and show our collective happiness at Robin and Cody's nuptials. Soon after the show aired, I noticed we already had an impact on the way the world perceived polygamy. I was flipping through the TV Discovery, looking for something to watch when I came across a show called The Lost Boys. A brief blurb described the show as being about members of the Warren Jeffs of LDS sect. This was progress. A few months earlier, I am sure that the description would have been about polygamous Mormons. Now people were beginning to differentiate between the sects and understand that we had nothing to do with Warren Jeffs and his abusive practices. Although the show helped the public to understand our faith a little better, it also led to misunderstandings within our own family. I don't think anyone in the family was prepared for the emotional toll of our couch sessions. Suddenly, what was supposed to be lighthearted look at our normal family turned into an investigation into our emotional scars and private struggles. When we set out to do the show, we imagined it would be something like 19 Kinsey County, which follows the daily life of the Duggar family. This show is light and frothy with an emphasis on family. We thought our show would touch on the sweeter side of our family and never probe beneath the surface. We were totally unprepared for the reality of confronting our issues in front of television cameras. Initially, these sessions were intended to allow us to recap events on the show, but we found that we were unearthing emotional hurts that we had skimmed over to keep the peace. These are times when we didn't watch our words and put our feet in our mouths. When Cody let it slip that he had selected Robin's wedding dress himself, even after marrying Christine and I had taken her shopping as an important bonding experience, Christine was devastated and walked off set. The show had to fit into an hour of television, so the necessary edits made it look like as if she returned immediately. The truth is that she didn't come back for 3 days. We were a mess after that session. It took a while for us to heal, but we are stronger for it. Robin is usually instrumental after a particularly difficult couch session. We really give her meditation skills a workout. Sometimes she starts the healing process right there on the set, not letting us leave the room until we've settled whatever troubling topic our producer has asked us to talk about. Misunderstandings within the family are not the only problems that have cropped up in light of the show. The way the media perceives and treats us has been something of a surprise. Educated, intelligent people have made strange and off-color comments that have not just shocked us but offended us on a very deep level. When people hear the word polygamy, their minds often jump to salacious conclusions. For some reason, many intellect Americans cannot differentiate between a healthy polygamous family and a man cheating on his wife or even a harem. On our first publicity tour, during a pre-interview for a nationwide talk show, the interviewer asked us some unbelievably personal questions about our intimate lives. We were asked about whether we compare our sex lives behind Cody's back and if we could comment on the difference in the intimate natures of each marriage. Our publicist jumped to our defense and demanded to know what woman in her right mind would answer the sort of questions we were being asked. Our publicist pointed out to this interviewer she certainly would not ask the same questions of other reality show stars, not even the most sexual, provocative shows. We were so grateful to her for stepping in because I had been left speechless at the interviewer's complete lack of tact. Of course, I understand that people want to know about our private lives. Everyone wants to find something scandalous in something pure. I hope that the show has firmly established that we are involved in 4 separate marriages and we keep our personal intimacy as private as possible. None of us want to know what goes on between Cody and another wife in their private time. Of course, the show has made it more difficult to remain unaware of how Cody and my sister wives behave in their individual marriages. In fact, since much of our lives is televised, I'm confronted with a great deal more of these other marriages than I was comfortable with in the past. I have to do my best to fight the impulse to compare my marriage to those of my sister wives. These are certainly things Cody's intimate. There are certain things on the show that I'm not comfortable watching, such as Cody's intimate moments with another wife. Robin's honeymoon certainly falls into this category. I'm not a jealous person, but I just don't care to see how Cody and Mary or Cody and Christine interact. This has been one of my personal boundaries. It's the problem of the apples once again. The show has made it necessary for me to find the security and strength to not want apples simply because someone else has them. If I want a pair, I'm going to ask Cody for a pair. Even though the interviewers often tried to dig for something juicy and salacious in our private lives, for exactly the kind of thing we never discuss, I enjoy myself on our publicity tours. I love watching the behind-the-scenes efforts that goes into our show. I enjoy learning about marketing and media. And the business side of the reality TV show business. Since I handle the contracts for our family, I acquired a lot of knowledge about the financial side of the entertainment industry, something I never imagined I'd come in contact with. I have always loved to travel with 60 and a 60-hour work week. For most of my adult life, travel was put on the back burner. Once we began to promote the show, we were able to visit major cities as a single family unit. Something I never imagined would be possible. This freedom to be ourselves is unbelievably liberating. It's almost a luxurious feeling to go around in public as a family without fear or shame.